the KSA events, okay, and why you travel, taking your football team down to events.
Initially, when we decided to do this, we were looking for some non-league games. Thought we had to come up with 5 non-league games, so we were a little worried about being able to find those games. So I'd heard about this, contacted them. We came down here, decided to do it, and what a great experience it was. It was great team building, team camaraderie. The kids all kind of having to work together and be there. The buy-in from the parents. Had such a great experience. We came in 2012 that right now our goal is to come back every 2 years and kind of make that a tradition for our team.
What do you get out of it as a coach and as a team? If you got to adjust that a little bit.
Nope, I'm good. I just want to make
Talk
sure.
to me about what you get out of traveling.
I think the thing that was great was the experience for the kids to get to go out of state, to get to play some different level competition, see where you kind of stack up against some other teams. I think the real thing is kind of getting them away from school and where we spend 4 or 5 days down here together with just a football team, and it's the coaches and kids, and that team building and that team camaraderie, especially early in the year. We're coming down the first game of the year, and I think the build up of that first week and looking forward to it and really developing that team chemistry was huge for us.
Okay, question. Why for one game?
I think just the experience. Like I said, I'd heard about it, and
let's bring this into something like it's more than one game. Mm-hmm. Talk about how it's more than one game. I'm trying to. We just talked about you come down for one game, and why would you come down for one game? Talk about your, and don't refer back to your other answer because we might not use everything. Mm-hmm. But answer the question of why you would bring 100 kids down for one game to Disney or the Bahamas.
I think that the big thing is that it gives those kids a chance to experience something that maybe they've never had a chance to experience before. We came down before. We had kids that had never been on an airplane before. Got an opportunity, a chance to fly down here. Some kids have never had the opportunity to come to Disney World and experience the theme parks. They really treated it, felt like it was a bowl game type of atmosphere. That, hey, we got on this airplane and we flew down here and we had buses and they took us places and did all that. So more than just the game, I think just that whole experience for kids who maybe have never had the opportunity, chance to travel, get that opportunity. Like I said, the team building, team bonding aspect of it. Just that whole experience where it was just us. It was a football thing. It was a football family kind of trip, and that was when, and I'll be honest, when we first came, I didn't know how it would go. I didn't know if it would be worth it. Listen to the response of all our kids and parents. It was no doubt it was one of the best things that I've ever did in coaching.
Talk to me about your senior video or your end of year video. Talk to me about, give me not a very long version, but talk to me about that.
We do a highlight video at the end of the year that go through and pick out pieces of every game and kind of put a thing together. And then one of the things that we always do is one of our dads who puts this together interviews all the seniors. And one of the questions he asks them always is, what is your most memorable experience of playing high school football? And at the end of the 2012 season, every senior said their most memorable experience of playing football over a 4-year period was their trip to Florida that year. And that's every kid verbatim was that. That was the most memorable experience, what they had coming down here, the fun that they had with it, how they really grew together as a group and a team. That's what really sold me on the fact that this was something we needed to continue to do, that it had that kind of impact on every kid.
Next question is going to be about fundraising. Talk to me about the fundraising aspect that you and your team and your parents have to pull off to make this happen.
That was one of my big concerns, having to try and raise that kind of money in a relatively short amount of time, a 6-month period, and not knowing what they were going to get out of it at that time in 2012. Now having did it, I think it's going to be a lot easier. But one of the things that we do is the kids have to fundraise money to help pay for the trip. Some choose not to. Some parents just wanted to pay for it. I'd say 95% of our kids fundraised the entire amount. Did things like, we do the Super Bowl squares, where they sell boxes at $10 a box. They pay out $100 a quarter, so they collect $1,000. They pay out $400. They keep $600. So that was a big one for a lot of our kids. That everybody on Super Bowl Sunday goes to a Super Bowl party, or dad takes it to work. Everybody, and the thing is people are willing to give you $10 because they have a chance to get something out of it too. So we did things like that. We had kids that went to Home Depot and got Home Depot to donate aerators, and we had 4 kids go out and they would aerate lawns in the spring, charge $40 a lawn. One kid would go door to door selling it. The other 2 would do front and backyard, and then they'd divide the money amongst themselves. So it really kind of became creative. Some of the other things that we did is I have a football weightlifting class. Those kids go to the elementary schools on Friday and they do a tutoring session, spelling, math. So they get out in the community, and in return, a lot of those people that work at those elementary schools would donate money back for Florida, and we kind of turned that into not only our kids getting to help the elementary school kids get people excited about Dakota Ridge, but then also kind of turn it into a fundraising thing. So we try to do a lot of things that doesn't entail going door to door having to sell stuff. We already do that. So we're trying to find other ways to, raise money and funds. And like I said, I think most of those kids haven't did it before. Our sophomores who came 2 years ago are going to be seniors this year. It was so much fun that the parents have already, signed up again, and they want to come back and be part of that experience as well. And so I don't think we'll have as big issue fundraising because the word is out now what a great experience it was. Well worth doing all this. And I think most of our kids are excited about the chance again.
What about the educational value? I know we just talked out in the hallway a little bit about the educational value and giving that back. Talk about that.
I think one of the cool things a lot of our kids talked about is having a chance to go to like Epcot and go through some of the different things there and learn about environment and learn about some of those different aspects of it. I think learning about different types of cultures that are here. I mean, obviously Disney World's a big place, and there's a lot of educational value just in different things. Obviously they like the rides, but and the thing was, one of the things we talked about is you're going to be out of school for 3 days. So we had kids that brought homework with them, did homework on the plane to try and keep caught up, talked to their teachers prior to leaving, saying, I'm going to be gone. And that was the thing, that most of our teachers at our school were very supportive of us taking the kids, doing that, working with them, getting work to them prior, or giving them some time to do their makeup work when they came back. But I think, just the chance, like I said, to experience different part of the country from where we're at, different types of cultures and environments, I think was good for our kids.
And talk about KSA.
KSA is unbelievable. Kelly Hayes is awesome. Nikki was awesome. And, that again was a concern. How much work am I going to have to do? I took care of my end. Everything we got here was just a first-class operation. From the time that setting up our airfare, getting there, we got off the bus, go here, go there. I mean, it was all laid out. Just unbelievable experience and what great people they are. I mean, it just made it so smooth from my aspect. Just alleviated a bunch of stress that maybe I had initially, that as we got going. And obviously, again, this is our second time coming down. I don't feel nearly as stressed out because I've been through the experience. I know what a great job they do, and not too concerned and worried now about what's going to happen, because I know it's all going to get taken care of.
If you had to talk to another coach that might be thinking about coming down here to play one football game, people will be like, I'm not coming just for one game. What would you tell a coach that might be thinking about coming down?
I would tell them I wouldn't even think twice about it now. Haven't did it. From personal experience, it was so worth it. That's why we're coming back a second time. And I get that there's going to be people in your state that are like, why do you have to go out of state to play a game? We got teams in our state looking for a game. And again, it's more than just the game. It's about the whole experience for your kids. It's about the opportunity for your kids really to kind of rally and build that team chemistry, especially early in the year, to come down here. And I would tell them, if you're even thinking about it at all, I'd give it a shot and do it, and I don't think you'll ever look back and regret it.
Okay, talk to me about your experience with KSA.
We have traveled 3 times over the course of the last 10 or 12 years with KSA. I was one of those coaches that always thought, why in the world would you ever spend $100,000 to go travel and play a football game, one game down in Florida. But we were forced to travel about 10 or 12 years ago, and we had just an incredible experience. Our alumni came back, the kids on that trip, and said it was the best thing we've ever done in our whole program. and discuss with me all the values and all the educational things that they experienced with it and just the time of their life. And so we've traveled 2 times since then, and we're going to travel again in August.
What do you and your team get out of traveling? For one game, most people would be like, it's one game. What does your team get out of it?
I think there's an educational experience anytime you travel, for geography-wise, I think for organizational-wise. As a student, when you're real good students, are very organized and structured and disciplined. And I think when you travel, especially with a large group, went down here, that organization and discipline and knowing where you have to be and when you have to be there is extremely valuable. The camaraderie that we get, where the kids are around each other and get to know each other more than just on the football field. And same thing with coaches and athletes and vice versa. We get to know each other a lot more.
We're going to redo it. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay. A little bit tighter. A
Okay.
little bit shorter, okay?
Okay.
Talk to me about what your team gets out of traveling.
I think education-wise, organization-wise, and I think camaraderie are 3 great elements that we get out of it.
What does coming down playing, you play in August, September beginning, your first game of the year, it basically comes back to 3 out of the 4 teams make it to the championship, or very good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Talk to me about that, what you get out of traveling and on the football field.
I think the discipline aspect, the accountability aspect, and the camaraderie. Just being able to go and enjoy each other. Then the more you like your teammates, you'll fight that much harder for your teammates, and that comes out on the field. So in 2011, we came down and we played. We won the state championship. We played Lakewood High School, who also came down, and we beat them in the state championship. So it was a good year for both of us.
And you contribute that to pretty much your travel and the camaraderie that you guys do the first year. Because is it the excitement coming down here, seeing something new, and then that carries through?
Obviously it comes down to, win a state championship comes down to good players. But I think that extra edge that everyone's looking for, that camaraderie and just that team. And football is the ultimate team sport. And to get guys to play as hard as they possibly can each and every down, that's what a coach's goal is, to try to get them to do. And I think the traveling is what it separates that next edge.
And what about the educational value? Forget that we just asked. You kind of just hit on that a little bit. Talk about the educational value.
I think to be a good student, you have to be well prepared and organized and structured and understand what needs to be accomplished. I think when you travel, you have the same things that are stressed. You have to be organized. You have to know where you're going. You have to know when to be back. It puts a lot of responsibility back on the kids, just like education does.
You travel 100 plus.
Yes.
Talk about the fundraising aspect to try to pull off something this enormous.
We bring probably roughly 100 to 120 kids. We end up bringing probably about an extra 60 tag-alongs when we come. So it's a great community and team and school experience for us. The fundraising, no one likes to fundraise, but when there's a goal in advance, again, it's one of those things when you have a goal and you want something, you work extra hard to try to get to it. And so when a kid actually accomplishes the fundraising goal, I think they have a lot of pride in themselves for being able to do it, and they end up enjoying the experience a lot more.
Talk to me about if you were talking to a coach that might be coming down here, was thinking about traveling to play one game, Bahamas, Disney, what would you tell that one coach?
I would say from our experiences with our alumni that have always come back, it's the best thing we've ever done for them. And that's coming from their mouths. And I thought we did a lot for our kids, especially through the experiences over the course of the last 15 years. But they come back and say that's the best experience they've had in their life. They're with their best buddies, they're playing a football game, and it's just the best experience that they've had. So that's why we've continued to do it.
How about your parents' perspective?
Okay, our parents have a great time down here, and they know that usually as a parent, when you see your kids happy and enjoy something, it fulfills you as a parent an awful lot.
How's it working with KSA?
KSA, Kelly and Todd are incredible people. I think they're as concerned about our kids as we are. They're great parents. They understand children. They want the best for people. They want to give back. And so when you have 2 people that head up a company that have great hearts, then they tend to do a great job with us. They are organized. They care about us. They're very well accommodating to us. So can't say enough great things about them.
When it comes down, when you guys come down here, how much work do you as a coach have to do?
The work is done prior to coming down here, meeting with Kelly, meeting with Todd, meeting with Nikki, and getting your itinerary set up. And once you come down, KSA takes care of you. You don't have to do all the work. All I have to do is coach, and I get to enjoy the trip also.